Yeah. What's your name again, please?
Jerry.
Jerry, and your name?
Griselle.
Griselle. Okay, thank you. All right.
Is that like Russell with the T in front of it?
Yes. Tercel.
Tercel?
Yeah. What? TRE. That's
Oh,
the other
okay.
on your bottle. I love her.
And that's that last time we talked about the karma, right? And it say that according to the book, question it can Menanda. So sometimes there's something that not relate to karma, but actually in Buddhist view, it may not relate to karma, but may delay in the past karma. Okay. Would you mind to read, please, Miss Casey?
Can
you
you
see
bigger, please?
Inspirational. Can you see or no?
It needs to be a bit bigger.
You good now?
Okay, where you want me to start?
Yeah, yeah. Influential text.
This influential text continues by nothing that while only enlightened Buddhas can ascertain whether karma or other contingencies are at work in life, most are faced with the uncertainty in evaluating the karmic consequences of their experience. I mean, so I guess in these texts, they're saying that there is some pretty high, you have to be pretty high level to understand a lot of the view, or really understand if this is your karma burning off, or if you're making more of it, I guess. But yeah, most people aren't really surrendered to it, I suppose.
They're not sure
Yeah.
about how karma come to them, right?
Right.
You know, when we look at this, the dog, the cat here, this country, they're so blessed. Right? I went to Hong Kong, 1993. You know, from China to Hong Kong is not like now. So you have to go through the custom, and this is like the tunnel between China and Hong Kong. It's, you know, Hong Kong is like island. In that tunnel, you know what? They hang up
the dogs to eat
meat.
Oh my God.
2 line.
Oh yeah.
And people over there, they still consume dog meat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Korea
why.
also.
So they here, they're so blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have you to take care of them. But over there,
yeah.
they
And you know, not all of them here are like they're, you know,
many
some really horrific circumstances.
but still the karma is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, also it's the same, you know, the way women are treated in certain
different
cultures, you know, that's a very different karma than being born here in the West.
Yeah. Probably make you surprised, but every culture has different aspect. Yeah. They value something more over there, but not here, and vice versa. Yeah.
I had a pretty religious Muslim person live with me, and he likes dogs, but religiously, like, you know, Muslims, they're not really supposed to have dogs in the house. They're kind of taught that they're dirty, but because of course where they're from, dogs carry rabies. Like, you know, we're not really at risk at this in this country. So, you know, I understand. So anyways, dog stuff, he had that like just what is that young programming that dogs were disgusting. And right, I was a dog groomer for many years, and he was driving me, and I came home with a big patch of just like clipped dog hair on my rear end, and I got out of the car and the way he was like screaming, I thought I caught fire. It was just dog hair. It was pretty funny.
I had a Muslim friend a long time ago. Actually, he eventually quit being a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story, but he still raised Muslim. Anyway, I had a dog at the time, and you would have thought that she was like something really like most people would be scared of, like scorpions, you know, like if he got close to him, it was like scorpions were like crawling on him. He couldn't with it at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned it because whether it's human, animal, and so forth, somehow the karma is changing. So dog here they have more good karma than over there, and people, we have Derby coming up, right? Right,
What?
Derby coming up, right? There's some illegal immigrants. They serve the horse, and they live with the. I met them more than 10 years ago. I went there to see what we can help them out. So it's that they live with the horse, they eat with the horse, and so forth and so forth. So even they're human, but still the
I
karma.
have that job.
Oh, okay. But at least you
Yeah.
run this
Now I
business.
do that, yeah,
Oh,
but.
you have that job before?
But yeah, when I was younger, believe it or not, I came out of a, real fancy private college and galloped. I rode racehorses, was my first
Oh,
job.
I see.
And so I studied equestrian studies in college. So I
Okay.
studied horseback riding, really.
Mm.
And so yeah, but a lot of my job, honestly, too, was just shoveling stalls with them.
All right. So again, our karma is different. Even we are in human realm, but have different karma. Even they are in animal realm, they have different karma too. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Let's see here. Yeah. So move down here. We're done with this one. Yeah. Okay. Can you read the next? Buddhist philosophy, please?
Yeah.
Buddhist philosophy.
Buddhist philosophy emphasizes that certain actions have strong karmic effects, and that a person's circumstances at birth offer strong evidence for the moral quality of his or her past lives. However, this does not necessarily mean that the doctrine of karma is fatalistic, since Buddhist textual sources make it clear that one's balance of merit and demerit, like all phenomena, changes constantly, and hence one's destiny cannot be predetermined in any given instant.
Okay.
But your karmic balance is always changing. Like it's never a solid thing. Yeah.
We're changing.
You're always working on it one way or the other.
And that's why in Buddhist view, this is no predestinate, that predetermined karma that we born because of this. No, we will have to be like this, like that. No, this is changing, and also we can change our karma too, if we have the will. And in the upside and the downside too. It depends how we want to change the karma. Okay.
I mean, from talking to, that really old Theravada monk, it is such a strict, strict set of rules like that. You really think of it to what I would say as lay people in the form of what our is. So like, that's getting it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Can you see?
Yes, to the average human being, his or her own karma is not fully knowable. Nor is karma the only force at work in life, for other natural cause and effect relationships are recognized, and random chance is also an accepted part of reality. However, a general reading of one's karma can be discerned from one's status at birth and from what has happened in one's life since. As far as the future is concerned, the logic of the karma doctrine has motivated Buddhists everywhere to endeavor to generate merit whenever possible, frequently likened to planting good seeds to guarantee a rich future harvest of karmic fruit. Living with karma, then, is one of the chief concerns of the typical Buddhist. So stuff happens in life, but overall, your karmic status can be seen from where you're born, when you're born, your all of that. But you've got to keep trying to improve your karma.
We can improve,
Yeah.
right? We can improve or we can destroy, depend upon our mindset, right?
I have kind of a random story that I've been thinking about since our last meeting, and it's my mom's mom. I didn't know her very well. She was a Christian Scientist, which meant she didn't believe in doctors. And so my uncle was born completely normal, and when he was a young child, he got a fever, and that fever affected his brain and made him unable to live by himself and care for himself.
Your uncle? Oh,
Like
okay.
meningitis or something.
Yeah, so well, because she didn't take him to the doctor because they didn't believe in doctors. They believe that God is the ultimate healer, and so they don't go to the doctor ever, like no matter what. And so it affected his brain, and like he became like mentally challenged.
Wow.
So I always wondered, like, whose karma was that? Is it her karma affecting his? Was there something in his past that like
Collective karma.
Yeah.
So he's still alive?
I'm not sure. We don't talk to that side of the family just because all of that stuff. My mom has a lot of baggage from her childhood living with that. So, but I think he lived with his sisters for a while. Because my mom's half brother. So yeah.
So again, this is collective karma. Then her karma overlap with his karma and vice versa. Yeah. So sometimes the children were born in a rich family, but that type of children, if they don't work, they may destroy all of the wealth of the parents. And vice versa, if the children were born in the poor families, but if they work hard, later on, it can be rich, they can be wealthy, it can be smart. So it is mutual effect between the parent and the children. And whoever we live together, we have the type of mutual effect, a collective karma together. Yeah, we can separate.
I was thinking about collective karma. I think about it kind of a bit because where I study history, I think about, the rise and fall of different cultures and stuff. One story I was reading about recently, the Black Plague in Europe that killed so many people. They said one of the main reasons it happened is because they thought that cats were associated with witches and the devil. They killed a lot of cats, and snakes have also always been associated with the devil. So they killed a lot of snakes because they killed so many cats, they killed so many snakes. There were more rats with the plague.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
That's the black about the black.
Yeah. So you can see it everywhere.
You know the story of Mao Zedong. He ordered people to kill all the boss, and guess what? Come.
Like famine, right?
Yeah, because all the what they call the insect, the crickets came and eat all the the plants and rice. Yeah, so that's why it really the famine is there. Yeah, that's why they don't have any kind of wisdom. So here we live in what they call collective environment. Which everything we do will affect to other people, so and also to the environment too. Right? If we burn the tree, cut down the tree, destroy the environment, that's we harm ourselves too. Unless, of course, we live in the woods, unless we need to build the temple, we need to cut down the tree so that we can clear the land. Otherwise, we would not do for population.
That was pretty clear during COVID, like
Mm.
during COVID, like the
Mhm.
countries that like in lockdown.
Yeah. A Di Đà Phật, maybe. Yes.
The countries that completely locked down were better off than countries that didn't. Once they did masks sooner.
Yeah. And that our monastery in Corden, people decide no hunting. Yeah, some people ask us to allow them to do hunting. No, we cannot let them to kill animals here. Anyway, so we protect ourselves, protect others, protect living beings surrounding us. I say that they kill snake, they kill cat, they have problem with rats.
Yeah.
And they kill the birds, they have problem with the cricket. So that's why it's a collective karma in all.
Now, I have a question that I think about a lot, and
Yeah.
I've read about it some, but I want your opinion. You mentioned, if you kill trees, but it's for a good purpose, like to build a temple or build other constructive things, like there's still some karma for that, but it's not as bad, I guess, as if you just kill trees for no reason.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course, tree we can blend back, right? Tree and plant we can blend back, but not human. But still, we need to be careful, and even this in the spiritual realm. I don't know whether you pay attention or not. Before we chop up, especially big tree, we put the sign to let them go, to let them know that we go to cut the tree. We put that aside at least for a few days, 2 days or 3 days, and it is suspect. Yeah, up to you can say whether we believe or not. There's some kind of spirit there. Instead of having the body as a house, they stay there. So that's why they show respect. Probably out of your mind, right? But that's what in Buddhist view we concern. The sentient beings that decide on that big tree there. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's move on to Ivan. Could you read this?
The 6 realms of being. Buddhist doctrine holds that until they realize nirvana, beings are bound to undergo rebirth and re-death due to their having acted out of ignorance and desire, thereby producing the seeds of karma. As long as one makes and carries this burden of karma, rebirth is inevitable. The most common formation of samsara recognizes 6 domains or realms of being, into which one may be reborn in accordance with one's karma.
We talked about this before, right? So 6 realm, you understand that? You remember 6 realm? Ivan, you remember that?
Off the top of my head, I remember that there are different realms, up, down, left, right, etc. It looks like the compass and the wheel turns as time turns.
Remember 6 realm, right? Can you spell 6 realm?
Yeah, I'll start in the middle. In the middle is the human realm, where we're at, which and because it's in the middle, and because the middle is important in Buddhism, like the middle path, like we're actually at the best place to become enlightened. But above us, there are heaven realms, which are nicer than Earth, human life on Earth. They're nicer, but it's like kind of the way I understand it is because it's so much nicer, they don't really have any incentive to work on themselves. So these beings that live in these higher realms will just like live a long time having a nice time, but it's not eternal, so whenever they do eventually die or whatever, they actually have to start over somewhere lower. And there's actually like a higher and a lower part of the heaven realms. It's like
Yeah.
the lower gods, and then there's like the higher gods, something maybe like the lower ones are maybe more like demigods or angels, and then like the higher ones are more like the gods. And then below, there's the animal realm below us. And then there's the hungry ghost realm, where you're born if you're greedy, but don't do a lot of other bad stuff besides greed. And then there's the hell realms where you go if you like hurt other people all the time. That's violent people go.
So yeah, so those are the heavenly realm, and also this is many level of heaven, not one level. That's why in Buddhist view, some people they believe in this type of God, that type of God, especially in Hinduism, they believe all type of God. So it's no, first that's normal because they may come down from their own heaven. That's why they still believe in their own God there. This is no big deal, no problem. That's their faith. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is symbol. Would you like to read, please? Can you read?
Where do I start? First realm is the domain of human beings. This is regarded as the best existential state because only humans are capable of achieving nirvana. The Buddha's sermons encourage his listeners not to waste the rare and precious opportunity of human birth. Fortunate indeed are those blessed with human intelligence and good health, and who have heard the Buddha's teaching. Dharma, the Dharma. However, owing to karma, humans have vastly different physical endowments, moral natures, and spiritual capacities.
You understand that? Yeah, why the Buddha says having human body is so important, it's so rare. Even of course, even on this earth we have more than 7 billion people, right?
It's almost 8 now.
Almost 8. So some people ask, how could we have more human? What do you think?
There's so many insects and bugs on the planet, like billions and trillions.
Yeah, maybe the lower creatures are moving up.
Yeah.
Also, I know that in various sutras they talk about how there's many worlds, and so I imagine like there's other worlds that are like the same as the human level. So I don't know, maybe like humans on Earth are sometimes from like another world, and they die in another world when they come here.
Yeah. They, of course, we may come back again, or may go to different world system in different form of life, and not exactly like this human body, right? And so aliens, UFO, and so forth, right?
Yeah.
But still, we consider ourselves as human, or we may go up to the heaven, some kind of heaven, and then we come down. It's so flexible. It influx. It influx that that we don't know until we have the wisdom, the second eyes to recognize that how we come about here, where we're heading to. So we don't know. Because that's why some God, like celestial beings, they come down to human realm, and some even animal they come up to human realm, and vice versa. Some human like us, we may go up and we go down with them. So it depends upon our karma. It's the influx of life. It's not started. It makes sense. So that's why in one particular sutra, the Srila Sutra, the Buddha say that most of time, not all, most time, you can recognize the beings that come from the heaven. Most time they have some special characteristics, like they like to live in a clean way, right? Second, that they straightforward. They would not tell lie. And the last one, most of them are generous. And look, most of the religion, right? You go up at the religion they follow, most of them encourage people to do the giving or the practice generosity. That's what it's about. Yeah. You follow? Yeah. So that's three characteristics that we can recognize that someone came from the heaven. You remember? So the first one, cleanliness. Right? They want to stay in clean place, not dirty place, not messy place. The second one is straightforward, no tail line. They don't tell lie. This last one is they're modest, they're generous. That's a three characteristics that we recognize them. And in that particular sutra, the Buddha say that some animal come up to the human. Sometimes, as teachers, sometimes you try to teach them, but they don't understand. Right? We don't understand. We don't understand much. Even they mature. I mean, that physically they're mature, but mentally they're not. Right? So vice versa. Even some little children, they're so smart. So it depends on their karma and the past. It's so inflex. You understand that? Yeah. It's just not stick. So that's why come back to the question why we have more than almost 8 billion people there. Yeah. So we have some beings that come from, let's say, the heaven or animal realm or whoever. They come here.
I think it's interesting and something that's important to me to think about how in Buddhism, even hell isn't permanent. Like you use up your bad karma and you actually get reborn out of hell to get a second chance in a better place, right?
What's that? What is that?
In Buddhism, if you like, even hell isn't permanent. If you're born in the hell realm, when all of your bad karma there is used up, then you die in hell and go up again, right?
Not paid. Basically, when you go down to the hell, that's when we pay our karma, our debt.
Yeah.
So it's normal whenever we pay all our debt. And also, there's another thing that sometimes we may go astray. We may go to the wrong place. But if we don't have that kind of karma with that place, we go back to our own path. It's like we're driving, right? Let's say you drive from your house to the temple. Somehow you may not mindful, so you may get lost, right? But eventually find out the way to come back here. So that's why sometimes, especially on the verge of death, some sentients, because of their strong emotion, whether it's they have the anger or they have the craving, they may go to the wrong place, the wrong destination. Well, that's why in Buddhist tradition, in our tradition, that we used to remind people when someone can pass away, let them pass away peacefully. Don't disturb them. Don't trigger their strong emotions, especially the anger. Because when they have that anger, right, and they may go to the realm that may be suitable for that state of mind, snake, scorpion, and so forth. So that's why it's better for us to pray for them, to keep them at peace. So for 8 hours, we know, right? For 8 hours before we touch them, we move them, so that they can pass away peacefully, so that they would not have any kind of strong emotion to go down to the wrong place. But if even they go to the wrong place, wrong destination, their karma would not be there, so they may go back. But it's better not to go to the wrong place, the wrong path.
I think a lot about the Earth Store Bodhisattva via Tom Wong.
Yeah.
Now he goes to the hell realms to help the people who are lost and stuff.
You heard about that? No. You know about that? You heard about that? You know what she's talking about? Can you tell her? Ivan, you know about that? No.
I'm so bad at pronouncing the Vietnamese name.
That's okay. Earthstar
Bodhisattva, or the Sanskrit name is Siddhigarbha. But he's the one. If you've ever seen the one, he's got like a staff that has rings on it, and he's got like a hat that has Buddhas on it. It's kind of like a crown, kind of like a hat. It's got Buddhas on it. He made a vow that he would stay a Bodhisattva and keep coming back to Samsara to help people, not just people in the human realm like all other bodhisattvas. He specifically goes to the hell realms And he said he's gonna keep doing it until all the people are free from hell. So he's pretty cool, I like him.
But hell never empty.
What?
Hell never empty.
Yeah, so his vow is gonna keep him busy,
Mhm,
keep him busy for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing that I've heard about his staff that I like is that it has the rings on it, so you know, people can hear him coming and notice him, and kind of if they're confused, maybe it will draw their attention. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't always.
No, sometimes he's just bald.
Yeah.
He doesn't always have the hat. He pretty much always has the staff though.
It's like I get confused because like. Just some are called one thing with a hat, others are called thing with a head, you know.
In Japan, they never really show him with a hat for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's something about Japan, I guess.
And the spirit top, you know, even in this modern age, right? Some people, if they commit some kind of crimes, when they get out, if they couldn't find a job, and they may go back, they may do some kind of similar karma, and they may end up in the jail again.
I kind of think
It's
of
not
him,
easy.
I kind of think of him like you're saying, like the people who get out of jail and then they might end up back in jail. He's kind of like a caseworker, right?
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah.
people who help the people like rehabilitate.
Yeah. Okay. So can you read, please? This one, to be born. Yeah, to be born.
To be born in the second realm as a, was it deity?
Yeah.
Deity, and one of heavens often said to number 26, although the total varies. It's proven to be the result of very good karma, and in the Buddhist understanding, heaven born individual enjoy a supremely small environment. It's really well.
It's okay. It's okay. Can stop. That's okay. You understand that part? You understand that?
So there's 26 heavens.
Yeah, they have.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
level of heaven.
Yeah.
Level. In
There's
one
so many
level.
numbers, I
Yeah.
don't like what everything is.
Do you remember I brought in a book one time, a book of Buddhist lists?
No,
Was it-
I was
it
that.
was like, I was super excited, it was like, it was, well, it was a big just book of lists and,
Yeah.
You mean that like dictionary or what?
yeah, you remember I brought it in one.
It's like all the way back in like November or something.
It was last year.
Yeah.
I love this. Those good.
Yeah,
I like the infographics, like the maps, like I know that Taya showed like the map of the 26
Yeah.
heavens before.
Oh, okay. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see. I can show you here. It's just it can say 31. Yeah, 31 realm of existence. Right here. Oh, right here. Oh, this is no, this is too. Oh, this one is easy. Can you see?
It's a bit too small.
Too small, huh?
That's even smaller.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Let me try this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. This one is okay. Okay, this one is okay, right? Oh, no, not this one. Yeah, at the sorry.
Looks like
Okay.
Sinhala.
Can you see now? This is big. Is enough? Okay, so hell, animal, omnivores, sugar, human, deva. So the next one the closest one lifespan is 9 million years, right? And in Greece there too. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. This is just in the world of desire, right? Realm. Yeah. That's why they have life. I mean that they live longer than us, and they don't need to work. Yeah, because of their blessing. It's like billionaires. Or you can say that up there is like trillionaires. They don't need to work because they enjoy their life over there. But if they enjoy their lives and their blessings is depleted until the point that they don't have anymore, you come down. Like we save money in the saving account, and if we use them all, we have to work again. In this view, yeah. So it's not in last forever. Even some of them they live up to trillion and trillion of years, but still one day they have to go back because they use up all their good karma, and if they don't want to do it more, they go again.
You can't create more karma there and go up even higher.
Yeah.
You can.
But
you have, like,
that's
1
why.
million years to become a Buddha.
Yeah, and there's many of them. They have seen Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, so forth, but they too much for them to enjoy, so that they don't care much about spiritual life. And for human realm in middle, right? In heaven, yeah, people they enjoy their lives too much. They don't pay attention much about spirituality. In upper realms and lower, so much suffering that they cannot focus their mind. So that's why human realm we have some experience of good and bad, right? Good, bad karma, and some kind of happiness and suffering. That's why all Buddhas appear in human realm to become Buddha. You follow? Okay. All right. So let's move on then. Oh, Sam, can you finish this one in heaven?
In heaven, one is free from work and can enjoy all the earthly pleasures. However, the problem with the heavens is that they are so satisfying to the senses that they can promote attachment and are therefore not conducive to advancing one's understanding or spiritual practice. It's still true, nonetheless, that the prospect of a heavenly rebirth motivated the devotions of the vast majority of Buddhist lay people in history. A human or heavenly rebirth is the only desirable destiny in samsara. So, yeah, it's just saying, like, if you don't think that, if you're like a Buddhist layperson and you don't think that you'll be able to escape samsara, if you don't think you'll be able to become a Buddha and go to nirvana, you're like, well, the next best thing is I either want to be reborn in the heaven realm or at minimum be reborn as a human and not go down lower than I'm already at.
Mainly through the practice of generosity.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to, I think in this realm, you have to uproot all your obstructions, anger, hatred, greed.
That's why, that's why if you
That's
visit the other countries like Thailand, Burma, so most time you will not see the lay people to do meditation. They like doing the charitable work. They like to do the dana. That's meant generosity.
Yeah,
to do a good karma.
The Theravadins think that you can only pretty much only become a Buddha and go to nirvana if you're a monk. So like if I'm a lay person, I'm just hoping that I have a good next life, but I'm not expecting to go to nirvana.
You have no chance because they don't work on the spiritual path. This is the meditation. They don't focus on that.
But Mahayana's, we believe that you can go to nirvana even as a lay person.
But you follow, right? That's why here we have each other. That's why for me too. I spend right now. It's warm, so I spend half of my week up there, half of my week down here. Yeah. So for my own spiritual practice, it's pure calm up there. We see all the Thailand monk, right? They wouldn't care much, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So please.
Let's see,
Can you see?
where? are
Too
we?
small
Yeah, okay, a little bit bigger. Okay,
or too big for me to
that's a
put
little
on
bit too
screen?
big.
Too big for me to put on the screen. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
To be reborn as a demon, Ashura, is to have somehow supernormal powers, but to be dominated by anger. Periodically, the demons assault
Mm. The
the
heaven.
heavens. Another reason why life in these realms is less than perfect. Buddhists in Asia regard demons as capable of causing trouble for humans. For it is believed that certain forms of illness are caused by demonic possession.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I did too poke. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, you can be born as reborn as an Ashura, where you can have I guess kind of cool powers, but you're controlled by anger, which we all know is a terrible feeling.
So in some Buddhist sutra, it say that Ashura, they fight with God as a recipients in the heaven most of the time.
I played a video game a long time ago called Shura's Wrath.
Oh, really?
Where you play as a god that is trying to get revenge because they murdered his daughter, who was
Wow, they great at games.
and he's fighting against like giant gods. And yeah,
Okay.
and you have to play the game like 5 times in a row to get the real ending or something like that. You have to keep doing it a bunch of times over and over again. Yeah, it was I think it had a bunch of Buddhist gods in there as well.
You know Star Wars, right? Star Wars movie, right? They get a lot of influence from Buddhist view, right? And you watch all? They still go. They done or they still making this?
Make Star Wars stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's
Oh.
TV shows,
What is that?
TV shows,
A TV show?
yeah, there's
Okay.
a couple of them.
So have a lot of Buddhist input, right? Buddhist influence on that, right?
Yeah,
Some. Huh?
the Jedi are very kind of like somebody misunderstanding Buddhism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
In doing it, yeah, they have some similar ideas.
yeah, they understand that meditation is a good thing, but they kind of get confused past that point.
Right.
I also think about like the Ashuras in Christianity, the way most Christians believe that they're like Satan, before Satan was an angel, and he was like God's favorite one, and he got jealous of God, and that was the reason that they had a problem with each other. Things went bad for them all from there. So to the extent that's not my religion, but to the extent that, I think that it might have some truth to it, I suppose maybe it's telling a story kind of like this, perhaps.
I hate the idea of blaming demons for illness because it's demonic possession, because that's something that has actually happened to people like that have like seizures and all kinds of things that people thought they were possessed, and that was been horrible historically, like with Catholicism.
Well, I was gonna say, the only people that are at risk for being possessed by those demons, right? Are people that believe in them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the point.
Right?
Yes.
If you're
Yes.
religion, like, do you worry about the demons that are taking over, I don't know, tribes in South America or something?
But it's usually.
But like none of us, like, I mean, I'm just,
Like saying their child is like possessed by.
Oh, yeah, I was
Not
raised
that-
Pentecostal.
yeah, yeah.
Everything was caused by demons in my family.
Yeah, so it's like a group of people that aren't
Well,
protected, that are.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is it only, yeah, that unfortunately only exists for people that.
Yeah, the churches that my family, I think most of them actually, well, my family still goes to churches like this. What I was raised with is like, yeah, pretty much everything is caused by demons, and if you were possessed by a demon, they would do like they would be like, yeah, and it'd be like a prayer, and like supposedly the demon would come out, like people would like vomit, and they would say, oh, the vomit is the demon coming out, and it's like, honestly, it was probably just all the stress, enough stress makes you vomit, but. That's Pentecostals for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went in high school, I had a boyfriend whose parents went to, so I called it a holy roller church. And I had a giggle attack. I couldn't control myself. It was, because I had never seen anything like that, and like, these people were like falling over, and
It's like what my childhood basically.
and for me, yeah, it was like, and I had,
Probably.
Friend's dad told me one time, his mother is from Scotland. And
I was like, what is going
she
on?
went to this one church one time and began reciting, she was part of some kind of thing there. I think it was a halfway house, either way. She started reciting the Lord's Prayer in Gaelic, and they thought she was speaking tongues, and they started jumping up and translating what she was saying, saying that the end times were coming, and she was like, what are you guys doing? We're translating your tongue. She's like, I'm speaking Gaelic.
Yeah, so speaking times is a big thing. When I grew up, they also, this isn't, even for Pentecostal, this is not normal. It's like a minority of that minority. But there's a minority of Pentecostals who practice snake handling. When I was a kid, there was like it was illegal, but I'd still read about it in the newspaper occasionally, like somebody would die or go to a hospital from a snake handling church. Because there's like some part of the Bible that says like, oh, the Spirit of God gives you the power that you can handle poisonous snakes and not get hurt. And so, like, instead of just being like, oh, that's a nice thing to know, they're like, well, we gotta try it to prove how hard we believe. And so they do that, and obviously some people get bit.
I don't think it was a documentary or a podcast, because I have a really bright imagination when I listen to podcasts. But yeah, so when they get bit, they go into these like cupboards, and they put on these like potato sacks and do these prayers if someone gets bit by these snakes.
Probably, because it's all healing too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in kind of a weird place because like Kelly said, I believe that a lot of times there's like a normal mundane like medical condition, like a mental or neurological illness like epilepsy or schizophrenia or something that like people in the past or people in some cultures, including Pentecostals or including people in like Bali or Portugal, well not Portugal I guess, Bali or I don't know, like the Amazon or whatever, might think is demons. It's not demons, it's just like a physical mental illness. But I do still believe in demons. I still believe in the spirit world. I think it's definitely possible that like a person's own spirit could be merged with like a good or bad spirit. I honestly think that's possible. I just don't think it's super common. I think like blaming any random illness on that is like, it's like the equivalent of like somebody who has like a bad experience and they're like, oh, well, Obama personally, or like, I don't know, Bill Gates, he sabotaged my day. I guess it's possible, it's within the realm of possibility, but I doubt it,
Well, I mean, if you look at like some like quantum possibilities, which is repeating to be more and more evident, all these things do exist all at once.
in Buddhist view, you know, sometimes let's say when we have some problem, some conflicts with someone else, let's say we harm them, let's say we kill them, for example, and in Buddhist view, that disease soul may haunt us, may follow and haunt us, and you know, and cause some kind of harms. It's not coincident. Yeah. So if they still have the physical body, they still have that type of hostile reaction to us. And if we harm them and kill them, they come back to get us. That's why sometimes this some people get haunted or possessed and so forth. So that's why in Buddhist view, it's better to do good karma with each other, good affinity, good connection, instead of doing the bad karma, or instead of doing the conflict, whether they're in human realm or in different invisible realm, they come to get us.
Well, like in the metta prayers, like in a lot of those, especially like whenever the monks came to bless my house and stuff, they pray for all the spirits, the good ones and the bad ones, the demons and the ghosts and the gods and animals and everybody, because it's like, you know, it's not like in Christianity where you say a prayer to make like demons or ghosts go away because you don't like them. We're just like, we pray that you have a nice time, and if you're happy, we'll be happy. You know, right?
I practice that.
Yeah.
No, that's just what the metta, whether they are our enemies or friends, we pray for them all instead of pushing away, like see the enemy, right?
Yeah.
The more we push, the more negative energy they can come back to us. That's why we resolve the problem in the compassionate way, in the loving kindness way. Yeah, instead of find back, the more we fight, the more they get us. The more we show our compassion toward them, the easier for us to resolve the problem within ourselves, right? Human to human, person to person. Not talking about we and other invisible beings. That's why in our life, right, to resolve problem in the peaceful way, in non-violent ways, is more. It is the long-term approach. If we resolve in violence, right, to fight back or to fence them out, they get back to us sooner or later. So again, when talk about how about in average, you know, what do you think? American people, they believe in some kind of ghosts or spiritual process them? On average, most of them, or just some of them?
I'd say about half.
Half?
It's probably pretty equally split.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of people believe in ghosts or spirits or something.
I took a nap. I had taken a nap earlier. I was having a headache, but I was watching like, you know, the Travel Channel, one of those goofy ghost investigating shows.
Some people say they don't believe in ghosts most of the time, but then they get in like a spooky house or a spooky room or spooky situation, and suddenly they hear a ghost, you know, like.
Well, yeah, and a big component of, I think a lot of that too is having your mind prepped in certain ways, like, you know, it really depends on.
So you scared? What do you think? You scared? Really? Ivan? No? Okay.
I get a little afraid of the dark sometimes.
What's that?
I get a little afraid of the dark sometimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Months ago, Aaron actually asked me if I got scared living at the house by myself, and I was like, no, because the monks came and prayed that if there's any spirits there, that they'll be happy with me, and I want to get along with everybody, you know.
I sleep in strangers' houses alone.
Yeah.
But there's pets there to protect you from the spirits.
I mean, sometimes, Aaron.
Yeah, anytime I get a little scared in the dark, I'm like, oh, I have 4 giant dogs. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I try to rely, I practice meta, and then of course, like when I try to go to sleep, I put on headphones and listen to something.
So dog, they have sense. They could sense someone coming, right?
Yeah.
at night, right? We could not see, could not hear, but they
Or
could send.
sometimes they're just kind of anxious because their owners are gone too.
No, you
So
can truly.
you know, if I like let myself get into some sort of, I've really scared the daylights out of myself when I was younger. House sitting on a big farm watching the Blair Witch Project this week back out. However, this was way back like when it first came out on like I don't know DVD or whatever it was. And I'd left the water running out in the barn. So I had to walk out and it was, it was quiet all the way out to the barn. I hear. And like I just can't even explain to you, my whole insides were just exploding with fear. Like I screamed at the top of my lungs, and it was the this black pony that I had put there. But I just, my mind was so, and I just, oh.
I think cats can see spirits. A lot of cultures say that, and I believe it too. But even the ancient Egyptians thought cats could see spirits. I don't think they might have been right.
Yeah, especially you live in the quiet area, like the mountain, the forest.
Oh, yeah. I remember my friend, his parents has property up in Indiana and it's surrounded by woods, and we slept outside one time. And he woke me up at like 4 o'clock and he's like, Jerry, I hear something walking around the woods. There's like somebody in the woods or something, like it's probably like a or something.
Yeah.
Or deer or raccoon or possum or turtle.
Big and driving.
I've done some pretty extreme camping. And so I've put myself in like plenty of situations where, I've had that like, that major adrenaline rush, and then having to like go, okay, we gotta let's think about it.
Yeah, in this area we don't have big forests around here, right? Just the farm, the rural area. You stay in the camping by yourself before? Nothing to be feared of.
No, I mean,
no, right.
take preparations.
The deer that sticks its head under your ankle is a little startling.
And you think you can handle to stay in the forest by yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I like the forest.
Oh, okay.
That's why I get this.
You should try podcast. I am not going to the woods by myself. I'm not going anywhere by myself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let us just finish today then. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.